Okay, I am live. Um, Let me see. How do I? Just a second, people. Okay. Okay. How do I? Hi, everybody. Hi, Joy. Hi, Anne. Hi, Mel. Yes. So I'm really excited that YouTube has brought the lives back. Um, Doing the live I did Monday, it was, I mean, it's probably a good thing I did it. Oh, hi, Catherine. Good to see everybody. Um, yeah, doing the live I did Monday. I want to thank everybody who showed up for that spur of the moment, random, unplanned live. I was having a really rough day that day, and it felt good to have people to talk to. So thank you so much. Um, I still struggle with that and telling that stuff because it's just I try to heal and look past it and not dwell on it, but sometimes you just can't help it. So, and I'm glad none of you were scared away by it. That's that's the big thing. That's I'm like I'm like it's a good thing with YouTube. You can't you know give too much details. You can only be so open because honestly, with the stuff I've been through, it would scare people away. It would be you. It's terrifying. So thank you for that. So how are you all doing? How is everybody? I know people are busy and it's like the afternoon or evening or morning, depending on where you're living. Oh, yeah, no, it does. It does help to talk about it. And it's I've been doing a lot better since then. I'm still dealing with it, but I'm not like it's it's not debilitating anymore. So that's good. I'm able to function for the most part again. So that is good. Oh yeah, yeah, no, difficult. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, a lot of people go through difficult things, and if somebody can relate, if somebody can relate to what I've been through, then I'm sorry, and I really hope you don't. I really, really hope you don't, because I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Not my worst enemy. Just no, no. But anyway, the reason I wanted to do my live today is because a year ago today is when I had my hip surgery. And I kind of wanted to do like a year post op live sort of thing. Hey, Ree. Oh my God. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. Ree is amazing. Joy is amazing. Mel is amazing. You guys are all amazing. Um, some of the people in this chat have channels. So if you haven't watched each other yet, you absolutely should. But yeah, so I'm a year post op and doing really well. Basically, what they did with my hip was that I had a labrum tear, and in I got it back in like February of last year, and it wasn't until like July of last year that they figured out what was going on with my hip, and they basically because of my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, my body is weird and crooked and all the things. So my hip bone was sitting too high and rubbing. Oh, and Leela has come to say hi as well. Um, this is my roommate's cat. This is my niece Leela. She's a good big kitty. Um, we'll see if she lets me do this live. But yeah, so basically my hip sits too high, was sitting too high, and so it was rubbing on my muscles, and that's what caused my labrum to tear when I was doing laundry. So I had my hip surgery back in December, and they I had extra bone on my hip bone, so they fixed my hip socket bone, and they put like these like plastic pins to like hold up my muscles so it doesn't rub against my hip bone. And I was really fortunate last year that my mom came for both before my surgery and after for like a month to take care of me while I recovered and just help me with things. My mom has always been my biggest advocate, biggest support. Um, so it was just really, really nice. And two things happened after surgery that I don't really talk about. One was I had a major reaction to prednisone and really bad reaction to it, and basically immediately stopped taking it. The other thing that happened was I had basically the symptoms of a heart attack afterwards. Um, while I was recovering, during the weeks I was recovering. So I had the arm going numb, the chest pain, the breathing. Yeah, I had it. And so luckily, one of my siblings, my brother that lives close, one of the brothers that lives close, is a medic, and we contacted him first, and he's like, well, if the symptoms don't go away, or if she gets worse, you know, take her to the emergency room. And so that was scary. I've had surgeries and stuff in the past, and both with the medication reaction and the heart attack symptoms and stuff, it was scary. It was a lot. But I'm doing better. I'm doing really good post op. So see you post op, and I'm doing well. And thankful I didn't die last year. So that's kind of what's going on with me. So this is kind of like a celebration of being better post op, a celebration of, not being dead. Um, oh, you guys still in the, oh, okay. I can't see. Are you guys talking? I don't know. It's not showing if you guys are trying to say anything or not. I guess it just pops up when you guys message something. I don't know. It's been so I'm out of I'm not quite sure how lives work. Okay. Okay. So yeah. Um okay, so you're just listening. Okay. Well, you guys feel free to say stuff too. I don't want to hog the conversation. I don't want to be that person. Um oh, Catherine, you're too busy. Okay. Yeah, I figured everybody was probably gonna be super busy. Yeah, so I'm just uh, okay. That makes me feel better. I, because of the live restrictions and stuff with being a smaller channel, I wasn't sure how well this was going to work. So I'm just kind of figuring this out. But yes, so another year of being grateful I'm alive And that is the thing, is that last year wasn't the first time I like got into like near death scenarios. I've had other things happen, and so it kind of, I used to not want to make a big deal out of getting a year older. Or I know people were like, "Oh no, I'm another year older. Oh no, blah blah blah," and I'm like, I am so grateful to still be alive. I am so thankful. It's, I know a lot of us have health issues. I know a lot of us go through like difficult life situations, and you know, I'm agnostic. I'm not Christian. I'm agnostic. I was raised Christian. I was, did the whole taught Sunday school, very much into it thing. Very, you know, very involved in church. I did the whole thing, and then as an adult, I switched and became agnostic. I'm also a lesbian, hence all the gay pride stuff around. But in my early 20s, I worked childcare, and when you work childcare, you have to take classes each year to kind of keep up to date on things and to still be qualified to be able to do it. And so one of the classes, they were asking us questions about our childhood and about regrets. And that was kind of an epiphany moment for me in that class, because my best friend, one of my best friends, because I don't think you have just one best friend, but one of my best friends, we worked the same job, and we were in that class together because that's what we tried to do. We tried to do classes together. And, she also had a difficult childhood and difficult circumstances. So she was filling up that page, explaining things and talking about regrets and all this stuff. And just, it's double sided, 2 pages, filled both sides of the page. And I left it blank. I left that page blank because I realized, I'm like, good or bad, whatever happens makes me who I am. And I am happy with who I am. Is my life easy? Absolutely not. I would not call my life easy. But am I happy with who I am? Oh, yes, I absolutely am. So I have no regrets. You know, all the circumstances, good or bad, they made me who I am as a person. And I love who I am as a person. It's just, yes, Mel, yes. And so that's what I try, and I've always tried to have a positive outlook. When you have chronic health issues, you kind of have to have a positive outlook. When you have health stuff going on, you kind of have to have a positive outlook. And um, it's, hey Leela, even under the blanket snuggums. These aren't just good babies. These are my good babies. Yeah, I'm my precious. These are my precious, precious. So, yeah, it just, I mean, in the moment, do I wish things could be different sometimes? Yes. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I'm, I'm not poking positive all the time. And in the moment, there are times where, yes, I wish my life was different. I wish things were different. But once you get past whatever it is, you know, you realize that, it happened for a reason. And that's That's my belief. And, and I hope as I've told the Joy and like Melinda who I collaborate with, that, as far as your beliefs go and as far as what you believe and stuff about things, I'm kind of in the mindset of, well, if you are a good person, if you're good to others and you're good to me, then, if we don't share the same beliefs, we can agree to disagree. And that is kind of where I put things. Because, you know, I have, and it just, yeah. So that's where that is. So I have the Christmas like collaboration, the declutter collaboration that's going out in the morning. I'm super nervous for that video, but super excited. Um, and I basically don't worry about being able to join the premiere. I basically did that so since I'm not a morning person, I didn't want to have to think about making sure I was awake to upload it in time. So I'm like, if I set it as a premiere, it'll motivate me to be awake. And that way, if anybody does want to talk, I'm there. Um, so yeah. Oh, what else? So this week, yes, we need a t-shirt or something. I don't know. It's it's just. I guess it could be a bad thing if you love who you are as a person. If you're a bad person, because it just means you like being a uh-huh. I'm not gonna um swear on YouTube. I That's another thing is that for those of you who don't know, it depends. I normally have the mouth of a sailor. I curse and swear up the wazoo like nobody's business. But yeah, it's kind of funny though. Yeah, so I curse and swear like there's nobody's business. But I believe in being respectful, and so if you don't swear or curse, or if there are kids around, or it's social media, I will censor myself and be respectful. And in the interest of my channel being about being raw and honest, yeah, you guys should just know that it, yeah. So, and then, yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on things. I'm trying to think what we could talk about. I was trying to make this live somewhat long because, yeah, I was taught to be respectful. I, you know, I taught to be respectful. I was taught to be clean and tidy. I was taught to be organized. And um and with my genetics and family medical history, um I got that part too. Oh, Catherine, it absolutely is. I It's one of my coping mechanisms. I used to love to draw, and it was my way of coping. But the mediums I would use were a pencil, a ruler sometimes, and Sharpie pens. And just because I'm kind of hypercritical of my own work and my own art, and so painting and stuff is just I I used to enjoy doing it, but I didn't consider myself good at it, so I kind of avoided it. And then so I would draw and I would use Sharpie pens because it most of the time turned out the way I wanted it to. Well, Sharpie pens have since started giving me headaches, and so drawing as an outlet, as a stress release, has kind of hasn't been a thing. So that is what it is. So I find other ways to cope. Since this will go private after everybody's done watching, I think I'll tell you guys more than I can tell in the public atmosphere, I guess. So I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a rare genetic condition. My mom's got it, sister's got it, family's got it, some of the family's got it. So pretty sure my grandma had it. Um, I have, hey Tanya, I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, um, mast cell activation syndrome, which means basically your body is hypersensitive to everything, and your allergies are constantly changing, and you're constantly reacting to things, whether they're natural or not. Um, Chronic migraines, chronic headaches, chronic fatigue, insomnia, fibromyalgia, IBS. Um, yeah. Oh no, Tony, you're fine. Um, you are good. So a lot of health things, and so I'm actually gonna have procedures done in January, hopefully, because I was supposed to have them back done in October, but my body flared up, and they're like, with that kind of flare, we need to wait until it's gone before we can um, do the medical procedure. And I'm like, okay. So that should be happening in January as long as I keep my body from keep it, healthy for me, and not have a flare up that will postpone it again. Um, so yeah, so that's me. So Christmas plans are exciting. I'm excited. I'm really excited for Christmas. I would love to know what you guys are doing for Christmas, because originally my mom was gonna come and be with us for Christmas, but the roads are icy and it's not safe for her to travel, and airfare is way too expensive. I'm in Montana, and flying in and out of Montana, no matter where you live, is just expensive. I mean, Katie from Playing My Energy, I believe, is in Seattle. So Seattle to Montana, it can be cheap, but anywhere else, basically it costs an arm and a leg to do it. So unfortunately, oh my gosh, it is so expensive. But I am a friend's supposed to be getting married in May, and then she asked me to be her maid of honor, and so I already got my ticket to fly out in May, and because you have to basically get it months and months in advance to have it be somewhat cheap. And so with the wedding, whether it happens or not, It's just an excuse for me to go visit people. So for us for Christmas, it's gonna be me and my roommate, who is one of my brothers. I feel like I can say that since it's you guys on here. And then like I said, I have my brother who's a medic who lives in the same town I live in. So he'll be coming over, and we are basically going to have breakfast. We're going to have something that we used to have for breakfast all the time growing up, and it probably be the same, like eggs and strawberry shortcake and bacon. For me, turkey bacon because I can't eat pork. Um, It'll probably be something simple like that. Um, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing as far as Christmas, like food goes, as far as like lunch or dinner or anything like that. Because breakfast will probably be more like a brunch. We'll have it late. Um, we have a couple different people that we've already said we were doing presents for, but basically we're not doing presents this year. So yeah, no, I love the idea of doing a bunch because I'm not a morning person. Like even growing up, we'd all get up like 5 a.m. or whatever it was on Christmas morning, and oh, Catherine, that's gonna be nice. Yeah, Boxing Day, woo. Yeah, we also my family will all put Jewish, and so once we like we live. Oh my gosh. And I might need to try magnesium again because every time I've tried it, it hasn't worked. And that's kind of not everybody with my conditions has this problem, but I have it, and my grandma had it. Where when it comes to anything, supplements, medicine, soaps, lotions, cleaning supplies, food, all of it, uh, our bodies kind of are super tricky. Where I can either take something for a while or try taking something and have it not work at all, or it will work for a while and then stop working, or I have a really bad reaction. So that's kind of so like when doctors tell me, try medications or try an inhaler or something, it's um, I used to just tell them no because of how my body is. I wouldn't even bother trying. And then, oh, see you later, Tanya. Yeah, you have a good evening too. I so yeah, so because of that, I wouldn't even try. And then, um, in the past few years, basically since was it 2015, 2016, when I realized I definitely can't walk anymore, where it's my body just no, walking is not being able to walk is not a thing for me. Um, you know, so I'm like, well, my body just keeps getting worse. I gotta try something. So I'm at the point now where I'm willing to try things. I'm willing to, but I just give people and doctors a warning saying, you know, I'll try it, but just know it might not work. I might have a bad reaction, or it might work for a while and stop working. So that's kind of how it is for me. So, um, yeah. So my body's complicated. It's it's different. Um, yeah, but Christmas plans. So we'll basically plan on hanging out and playing video games and drinking eggnog and spiked eggnog and stuff, like holiday beverages on Christmas Day, and that's how we plan to spend our Christmas. Um, I'm gonna be making my grandma's recipe. Oh, thank you, Lee. That'd be awesome. Yeah. So I'm gonna be making my grandma's recipe for Christmas. I made it for Thanksgiving, and it's kind of a side, kind of a dessert. We call it Grandma's green stuff, and it's basically made with Jello, but it's probably the worst thing for you, but it's really, really good. We all love it. So basically, with what we plan on having on Christmas, it's gonna be a big cheat day for me because my grandma's green stuff is full of stuff I shouldn't be eating, but I'm not giving up my grandma's recipe, so I'm gonna be having it. Um, I occasionally or rarely drink alcohol because of how my body reacts to it. Um, and then the strawberry shortcake is going to be a thing, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to convince if we're going to do gluten free Bisquick biscuits or not, or plan to do regular. Probably end up doing regular because if I'm already cheating with one thing, I just make it a cheat day and deal with the consequences. Because that's just how it is. Um, I'm really fortunate with how my body deals with migraines, which is usually what this stuff causes. Is since my body's like, well, medications don't really work for you, so we're just gonna have you sleep it off. And so usually, for me, when I start getting a migraine, usually it starts out as a bad headache, and then oh, Grandma's green stuff is a secret recipe. I'm not sure if I'm gonna share that. That's a family recipe, but I might on Christmas when I make it. I might take a picture of it so you guys can see. It's the weirdest looking stuff, and you wouldn't think it would be good, but it's so good. But I will say it's got Jello, green Jello, and pineapple are two of the ingredients. I will say that. But no, it's the family recipe. I'm not giving it up. Um, even if I did want to tell you guys, it's oh my gosh, I might I don't know because I have a picture of the recipe card and it's in my grandmother's handwriting. She passed in 2009, 2010 was it? She had Joy, you probably know what it is then. You probably know what it is. It's probably the same thing. But yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Gingerbread, you're making eggnog? You know, it's buying eggnog. And my Yeah, Mel, it is. And I love it. I miss my grandma so much. She. Oh, that's crazy, Joe. That's crazy. Um, oh, making eggnog. Yeah, no, we're not making eggnog. Um, and I'm not sure if we'll try and make gingerbread cookies or make cookies at all. Um, we all try to limit our sugar, mainly because we feel better when we do, and um, our family on both sides has a history of diabetes. So me and all my siblings are very careful when it comes to that because I had one grandparent lost a who had to have an amputation because of his diabetes, and then I have other grandparents who just had bad diabetes. So it's definitely a thing in my family on both sides. So I'm not. So Christmas we're definitely gonna be probably having a lot of sugar, but like I said, it's kind of like a cheat day, and then we're pretty good most of the year. Like for me, when I have coffee, I mean I'm doing it different right now because it's the Christmas season. But normally when I make coffee at home, it's well we got an espresso machine, so I'm making so I do 4 shots of espresso, and then I we got a milk frother, and I do coffee with some frothed milk. And when I do it in a coffee pot, I make myself a cup of coffee and just add a little bit of milk or half and half or something to it, or coconut milk or something. And so that's how I normally have my coffee. I used to have it super sweet, but that was too much, and so I just started doing it with a little bit of milk in it. Um, if I'm going out for coffee to like Starbucks or a coffee shop, then I will get like the chestnut praline latte or something, super sweet and delicious. And but most of the time it's just coffee with some milk in it. Although, excuse me, because of the holiday season, I'm doing coffee and milk, but I add a splash of eggnog, and it's really good, really really good. So yeah, so that's kind of our Christmas plans. Um, as some of we have a lot of birthdays in the wintertime. So like we had birthdays in November. Me and my mom and a nephew have birthdays in December, and there's a birthday in January. So the winter, besides being a big holiday time, is also like a lot of birthdays for us this time of year as well. So and so that's exciting. And then my brother, who's my roommate, has a menorah, and so we plan on. If you guys don't know, Hanukkah is the 18th to I think the 26th. Yeah, the 18th to the 26th. So come Sunday, we will be probably trying to light the menorah for each day of Hanukkah, and because Leela is spoiled rotten and gets all the best things, I got her a pack of 8 cat toys, and they're Hanukkah themed. And so she'll get one each day of Hanukkah, and I'll put it in her Christmas stocking. And of course, I also got her a Christmas present. So, cat toys are only like a few dollars. So I feel good about being able to do that because she's a spoiled baby. She's a spoiled kitty precious. So yeah. Yeah, no, it's exciting. And like I said, we me and my two brothers, for some reason are just feeling super festive this year. We haven't in a long time. So we're just trying to do all the things. Um, but still keep it simple and minimal because that's just how we are. So it's just exciting. It's really exciting. Um, just a minute, people. I need to drink water. Oh, I have other siblings, Joy. So, I am number 5 of 7, and that's not counting my mom's miscarriages. So, yes. So I have two older sisters, two older brothers, and then it's me, and then my two younger brothers. So, large family. One brother, unfortunately, cut off the family back in 2012 and has nothing to do with any of us. Well, no, no, wait. He still talks to the oldest brother, I think. But other than that, he has nothing to do with any of us, which is unfortunate. You know, he's he's one of my younger brothers, and he has nothing to do with any of us. So it's just, and it makes my mom really sad. It makes us all really sad that he won't. He's just, he's been with us. He's married and wants nothing to do with us, and lives far, far away from any of us. So there's that. Yeah, but no, I come from a large family. And so when it's so it's all adults and doing their own thing. Yeah, 2012 was when he cut everybody off, and there were other things that happened in 2012, and so that year was just that. It's one of those things where you know a lot of bad stuff happened, and it made me who I am, and I'm happy for that. But it just that wasn't a good year, and that's kind of it being 2022 and 10 years since that stuff happened. There's been a lot of reflecting going on. Oh my gosh, Joy. Yes. So I was homeschooled. We were all homeschooled growing up, and like I said, we were raised Christian. Families we hung out with were Christians, and small town living, and so most of the families in our homeschool co-op, homeschool group had 5 or more kids. So growing up, I very much had a social life because just between me, our family, and another family that we hung out with, just us kids combined, was like, I'm trying to think how many kids, like 16 kids. when just two families got together. So it's 16 kids and 4 adults. And then keep in mind that with the families I grew up with and with my family, we were all biological. I'm I don't remember a lot of adopted or like step families growing up. So I mean there were probably some, but as far as the families that I grew up with we had, so I very much had a social life when I was up until like age 10. And then we moved and things changed. But yeah, so large family life, lots of opinions, lots of stubbornness, as you probably well know, Joy, and all have our own personalities, our own interests, our own beliefs, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot, but it's fun. Um, so yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Mario Party on the Nintendo Switch. It's just yeah. Oh, me too, Joy. Me too. Oh yeah, no, we're all very stubborn, um, and all very opinionated, and it can be a good thing sometimes, but sometimes you know, oh, it kids out of school, you're screaming outside. So yeah. Oh my gosh, I am so glad I did this. It's all snowy and icy outside, and I haven't really gone out. I mean, unless I have to, which isn't that much. So this has been good. This is nice. I feel like I'm hanging out with friends, and you guys are my friends. You really are. I feel close to you guys. So um, my body's been weird this week, and if by Monday it's still being weird, I'm going to talk to my doctor about it. But I'm like, oh, yeah, it's virtual friends. Um, we'll have to. Aw, thank you, Catherine. Love you too. Yeah. So, like I said, so if you guys positive energy, good vibes, um, prayers, whatever you do, um, sending that to Mel from Melinda, plain simple, especially because of health stuff she's got going on right now. Um, I'll leave that up to her whether Joy knows about it because we're all in the collab together. We all do a private chat, but yeah, but it's just I'm kind of hoping this issue I've had for this week goes away because if it doesn't go away and I have to see my doctor about it, it's kind of frustrating because as Mel's finding out that sometimes with doctors' tests and stuff, things show up as normal when they're not. And so this you have the possibility of continuing to have a health problem and it going undiagnosed because when they test, they're like, no, no, you're fine, it's normal. And like you can be considered like a bit of a hypochondriac. So that's so I'm really hoping that if this issue does continue, that praying positive energy that it does show up and they do figure it out because I mean my health conditions list and things I've had done is already ridiculously long. So the idea of adding anything more to that list, it's just like good grief. But it's a problem I want answers. So there's that. And that's kind of, so that might need to be talked about. And then this, oh, I'm so glad I've been helpful, Mel. Yeah, it's nice. It's sometimes nice to have somebody who has been through it or has a lot of the same health problems as you to kind of talk through it with and vent with when it's frustrating. Um, yeah, so my procedures in January, depending on what how those go, I could be adding health conditions to my list of health conditions that way. Um, if the problems I've had this week continue, I'll be adding another health condition that way. And then if I can get my doctor to listen and, hey, Michelle, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you made it. I don't know if YouTube cuts you off at a certain time with lives or if you just go as long as you want. I'm not quite sure how this works, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it. So, and so thyroid issues are an issue in my family. And think it might be an issue with me, but every time I talk to a doctor about it, it kind of they just do the basic testing and dismiss it. I'm like, no, no, you're fine. Or they just dismiss me altogether. And thank you. I'm in a really good mood today. Probably part of that is because I actually got some good sleep last night. I haven't been sleeping well or at all for a while. So finally getting some actual sleep has been great. And oh, you're welcome, Mel. And I, had just finished my coffee um, a little bit before I started this live. So the combination of coffee and sleep, and you guys get to see me at my best. Um, Lila has been sleeping on me. It's so cute. Such a good kitty baby. She loves sleeping on Auntie under the blanket. But yes, so a lot of health things going on. Um, a lot of processing and reflection, you know, being glad that I'm 1 year post-op from my hip surgery, being glad it was a success, being glad that physical therapy helped enough that I have my mobility back. Oh, thank you, Mel. Yeah. No, I just this is when I'm like this is when I try and get stuff done or try and socialize because me like this is few and far between. And so when I have these good moments, this good time where my body is just like, you know, doesn't feel disabled, doesn't feel, yeah, chronic pain is a thing. Yeah, my health issues are a thing. But, I feel normal, then that's when I try and get stuff done. That's when I try and cook. That's when I try and clean. That's when I try and socialize because I know that after I'm done, I'll probably be wiped out for a while and not be able to do stuff for a while. But it's so nice to feel that normal. So this is great. Um, what else? Yeah, so I'm gonna try and film my tiny tidy this weekend for Tuesday, and I might try and film multiple. Yes, we live in between. Um, just because earlier this week my body decided I was overdoing it, and I started to feel sick. Like that's when I was like, it started to feel like I was having a sore throat and stuff. And so my next burst of like really good energy, I'm probably gonna try and knock out and film a few tiny tidies and do what you guys do, just because I I think that's the way my body's gonna be able to handle it and be able to do it without making myself sick. So that's sort of my plan with things. So yeah. Um hmm, but what else? Oh yeah. Um it's gonna be interesting with the video tomorrow because as some of you guys know, I I don't edit my YouTube videos. It's just I fly by the seat of my pants, and um I don't get cleaned up most of the time. Most of the time I don't get dressed. I don't wear makeup. It's so sometimes it's me rolling out of bed filming, and sometimes even just going back to bed. So, like, usually when I do a YouTube video, usually it's the only thing I do that day. If I film, most of the time it's the only thing I do that day. So that day I'll order takeout, um, or just make something really super simple or snack because I don't have the stamina to actually cook. And so, unless I'm having a really good stamina day, when I'm filming, sometimes that's filming is the only thing I do. So with that, like I said, I don't want to edit because I also get really bad brain fog. And so sometimes if I have the stamina to do something, it doesn't matter because my brain fog kicks in and I don't trust myself mentally enough to do something correctly. Well, I was filming my video last night and I had to, adjust the tripod once to get a good angle. And I didn't edit that part out of me adjusting my tripod. and I said I don't edit my videos, but then I realized at the end when I added in the thing for the collab, um, the kind of the I added that at the end, so that was technically editing. So I'm like, oh, crud. Maybe I should have edited out the part where I was adjusting the tripod and saying I don't edit because doing this is technically editing, but it was already uploading, and so I just said, you know what? We're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it, and I don't want to be seen as a liar, but it's also like I said, when I'm fuzzy and foggy and filming in the moment, I don't always catch things in time, so I just leave it. Um, yeah. So I don't know what I'll be making for dinner tonight, or if I'll be making anything. Um, all depends on how my stamina is doing. Let's see what else. Mm. Oh, not good. Getting starting to get super nauseous. Okay. Um, thank you all for still being here, people. So yeah. So that's my Christmas plans. That's my health update, channel update, all the things. Oh, I'm just starting to get really nauseous, Mel. I've been dealing with this bout of being really nauseous for a month or so now. And so just sometimes I have to take a second because it just, uh, um, yeah, it is the worst. I mean, luckily it's not because my ribs are subluxated or dislocated, which is usually the cause, because my ribs are out and stabbing me, and it's painful and it makes me nauseous, and but I don't think that's the reason this time. I mean, yeah, it is. And this happens when I go through these periods of time where I just go through, where I'm just nauseous. And I'll take things and try things and eat things, and it's just a matter of waiting for it to go away. Yeah, no, pain can do it too. So that's the other thing. I don't take pain meds. Um, I've lived in pain my whole life, and I don't take pain meds. I do after surgeries for a little bit because you know after surgery your pain is like a 20, and you know you need that relief. But for me, when I take, I've noticed for me at least when I take pain meds, um, it gives me it. sometimes if it works, it gives me temporary relief. But then when the pain med wears off, the pain feels like it's 10 times worse. Because I got that temporary relief, and my body had that time of feeling, normal. And so when it wears off, my body's like, ah, screaming at me in anger. So so I just rather live with the pain. Um, people used to post those things of what I miss about my childhood is not having back problems and not being in pain. And I'm like, wait, that wasn't normal? That wasn't normal? So, yeah. So it's like I was telling, yeah, Mel, I know you can relate. Um, and that's the thing is that I got I probably got diagnosed with fibromyalgia back in what 2014, was it? I think 2013, 2014. When was it? Anyway, and then I got diagnosed with EDS back in 2017, and all the other stuff got diagnosed in between. But with the fibromyalgia and the chronic pain, they're like, you're too young to have this. You're too young to have these health problems. I'm like, well, I do. So with trying to get diagnosed with fibromyalgia, because my grandma had it, and I'm doing a lot of stuff my grandma did. This, you know, swear I have some of her health problems, and basically, right, since my weight fluctuates up and down, I go between heavy and being, somewhat healthy weight. Um, at the time, oh, I was. Let's see if it was 8, 10 years ago. So I was in my young 20s because I'm 34 now. So mid 20s, young 20s. No, because I guess it was mid 20s because 10 years ago was 2012. So I was 24. So I guess I was like 25 or 26. Um, yeah. And so the doctor like, you just need to lose. So back then, the doctor was like, you just need to lose weight and then you'll feel better. And so I did. I lost 30 pounds. I can't remember what that brought me down to at that time. Yeah, but anyway, I lost 30 pounds and went back to her and said, well, I've lost the weight and the pain and the problems have not gone away. And that's what got her to me to be diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And then in 2017, um, you found what, Mel? Um, so then in 2017, by that time, we had suspected for a few years that I had the hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome because my parents had found it on Google. Yeah, no, trust me, that weight is back, and then some. Because when I eat stuff I shouldn't, one of the side effects is I gain a few pounds. So, um, Oh yeah, menopause. I remember when my mom went through menopause. That was a lot for everybody. Um, but no, she handled it really well. But so in 2017, my mom made an appointment to see a geneticist because you know she was trying to get diagnosed with EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and then she's like, "I think my daughter has it too. Can I bring her?" And so we went, and it was a pediatric, yeah, pediatric geneticist, and by that time, by 2017, I had already been using a cane for 3 years. Because in 2013, I broke the bone in my right knee and tore my ACL and had to have surgery to get it fixed. So by 2014, my knees were already by that time were complete shambles, and I was using a cane. So by 2017, when we saw the geneticist, I was using a cane, and so we had the appointment, and we went, and he asked all the questions like family history, and did the tests and stuff to test for hypermobile EDS because to test for the other types of EDS, it's a genetic blood test, and those were way too expensive. We couldn't afford it. So he just tested for the hypermobile type, and he did a family history and asked the questions as kind of, formality because he needs to fill out the paperwork. But he he could tell just by the way looking at me and the way I was walking that I definitely had it. So yeah. So I'm like, and that's when you know you found a good one. Uh, when 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 you don't have to, prove yourself or explain yourself or teach the doctor about something they should know about. So that geneticist was amazing. Um, so besides diagnosing me with EDS, which is how I was finally able to get the sign off saying I'm disabled and I can't walk, um, he also said that I have a cleft palate, which is why I have trouble talking, which is why my tongue seems too big for my mouth and stuff. And uh, recently, in the past few months, I actually had to meet with somebody to talk with a specialist or whatever. And she has a cleft palate and a cleft lip. And it's like with me having EDS and Mel possibly having it, when you know, you know. So she's like, "Did you have a cleft palate fixed?" I'm like, "No, I still have it." And because, she had a cleft palate and a cleft lip. And so it's just like, when you know, you know. And so I'm like, wow, crazy. And yeah, yeah, so I've been using a cane since 2014. I don't always need it, but I do. I actually have multiple canes. Um, but when it comes to the walking on a place and a space, um, the walls and furniture and counters and stuff are so close together to where if I'm feeling weak and shaky, like I would want to use my cane inside. If it's really bad, I will. If not, then I basically hold on to the wall and like counters and ledges to kind of steady myself. And that's kind of, you know, tip I have. If so, it helps to do that way. And then I also use a stool and sit to do things. So there's like just tips and tricks you learn to make life easier. Um, I need to stop fiddling with my hair. So how's everybody doing? You guys getting your stuff done that you wanted to get done while listening to me ramble on? Yep, I did, Mel. I figured out what works. And when I had my hip surgery last year, I was given a walker and had to use that for a couple months after my surgery. Oh, you picked something to eat. Good for you, Mel. Yeah, no, it's good to eat something. And Joy, I know you had stuff you were working on, so I hope you're getting your stuff done. Um, yeah, so I have my walker now that I used for like the first few months after my hip surgery because it took a while before I could just go back to using just my cane. Yeah, so that's good. Yay! Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. And I need to wipe down our kitchen counters. Um, like I said, I'm having a pretty good day so far, and so I actually um we get coffee beans and grind them, and I put them in a glass container, and that's how we do our coffee. So our glass container was running low, so I this show you that I was having such a good day that I was able to grind coffee and fill the jar back up like 3/4 full with a coffee grinder. So that is great. I love a little coffee grinder because all you gotta do is you put the coffee beans in it, you plug it in, you push the lid down, and it grinds the coffee, and you just tap it out. And you just do that until you have as much ground coffee as you need. Yeah, no, grinding coffee and doing this live is like I said, it's that's a good day for me. And I know, Catherine, since you're the UK, it's late for you. So I hope you have a good bedtime and you sleep well and everything. I'm glad you were able to join. Um, kind of. So another thing about me is that good days or bad days, I usually have like this like peak like functioning time where I'm not like super out of it or I'm able to get something done, or I'm just, able to like hold a conversation. Uh, um, so that's why I'm like, okay. So usually around like 2 o'clock or so, I've had time to wake up and yeah. So yeah, so I've had time to wake up and I've usually just finished my coffee and so I can do things or like I said, do this live and be able to talk. Yes, YouTube thumbnails. Oh, yeah, it's almost 4 o'clock here. Okay. Yeah, and so for me, my natural rhythm is nighttime. So from like 10 o'clock to like 2 in the morning, that's like my peak functioning time. I mean, that's when where I'm like, I have so many ideas and my mind is running like a race and, I'm wanting to get stuff done. And so from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., that's when, if you want to, you know, that's, that's my best time. That's when I function the best. I mean, if I'm in a bad player, no functioning time is good functioning time for me. But if my body's doing okay, then 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., you want to catch me when I'm doing good, that is the time. That is when I get things. Yep. And then daytime, like I said, I'm not a morning person. When I was able to work, I used to have to get up early for work, and I would have coffee and stuff, and I'd be awake and I'd be working, and you know, I was functioning the best I could, but anytime before like 12 p.m., anytime before noon, and I can function sometimes and I can do things, but if you really want my help and really not for me not to be super out of it, you gotta wait till after I've had my coffee and you know, afternoon and evening is yep. And then but if you want to see me at my peak, at my best, if you want to like bounce around ideas and get things done, nighttime is where it's at. That's when, like, if it wasn't for the fact stuff needs to be done during the day, and that's when most people function is during the day, then I would honestly just, sleep during the day and be awake at night because, like, it's kind of what I already kind of do that, but it would be full if that was if that was possible. But life happens. Things need to be done. Things are open during the day, so when it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Um, Yeah, no, this is about how I am between, yeah, see, Joy, you are a morning person, and you can, when you're at your peak, no, no, no. Yay, Lacey. Yeah, yeah. I know, girl. You and I have talked about it. You are a night owl like me. And it's nice because the brother that I live with is that way too. He his rhythm is more at night as well, which is why we do so well as roommates, and why his work schedule works so well because basically we don't get up until like late morning, or and then we have a couple hours together before he has to go to work, and then he works, and then he gets home like middle of the night, like, and then we have a couple hours together, and then we go to bed, and then it starts all over again. So that works really great for us. It's nice because of his work schedule, and because we both function better at night. Um, Depending on how hungry he is when he gets home from work, he can make food at night, or I can make food at night. And I mean, nothing too heavy, keep in mind, and have this Jalen to be able to do that and hang out together before bed. So, yeah, but if you catch me between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., this is about how I am during the slab, is about how I am then. So, like I said, sometimes happens for me during the day like this. But yes, coffee. Coffee is important. Um, I've actually trained my niece and nephews not to talk to me in the mornings until I've drank like most or all of my coffee. So they learned from a very young age that if they want to do stuff with Auntie, they need to wait till she has her coffee first. Yeah, I really hope that coffee doesn't ever become a problem for me because of, well, it's, I'm not sure, Mel. Yeah, it's not necessarily like a mood change for me. It's just I'm more coherent and functioning in the morning after I've had coffee. Now, don't get me wrong. I can have a cup of coffee and use it to stay awake. I can have coffee and take a nap afterwards. So it doesn't have that effect on me, which is why, so sometimes we'll have coffee like late at night because I'm just not affected that way. Um, I tried doing like no caffeine or low caffeine once for a while, thinking to try and fix my sleeping issues, and it didn't make a darn difference. Didn't make a difference at all. So I'm like, well, if it doesn't matter, then I'm gonna go back to drinking coffee because I enjoy it. And as long as my body doesn't tell me no, that's what I'm gonna do. Um, it's okay if you don't. It's like I said, I am a judgment free zone. You know, Yeah, some people either don't like it or they can't handle it, or they used to like it and they can't handle it, or whatever, or they really enjoy it like me and they have it a lot. But yeah, judgment free zone. You know, you like what you like, you are who you are. Yeah, it doesn't keep me awake. I mean, there are times where I'll have coffee to stay awake, and if I'm in a bad flare, if I'm having trouble staying awake, no amount of good food or caffeine in the world is going to keep me up. I will crash. Yeah, no, with our family who they use it to help them go to sleep because their bodies are just weird that way. So, like my brother, who I live with, he drinks it because he enjoys it, but it also makes him sleepy. So sometimes at night he'll have coffee to help him go to sleep. But yeah, no, lazy, it does. If coffee wakes you up and makes you feel great and you're like, woohoo, let's go. And yeah, like I said, if I ever have to quit coffee, I'm going to be super bummed. That and dairy. I love cheese. I love milk. I love ice cream. Have I had the non dairy versions? Yes. Do I like the non dairy versions? Yes. Do I prefer dairy? Absolutely. So, yeah, dairy and coffee are just two things. If I ever had to give either one of those or both of those up, I would be a very, very sad woman. Very, very sad. Because I love them both. And it's also, yeah. Yeah, so it's, now this is what I found out with food, at least for me, and coffee and stuff, is that I enjoy coffee, but certain brands and like the K cups, the pods, all give me like headache migraine. So I don't know what's different about the pods. I don't know what's different about certain brands of coffee, but my body just says no. And when it comes like I'm not supposed to have nightshades, which is like potatoes, tomatoes, um, eggplant, peppers. So any seasonings that are derived from those in general not supposed to have, and not supposed to have gluten, and that's the gluten thing has just been within the past couple of years. I've had an issue with nightshades since 2016, but you know, I miss those foods, and so I sometimes cheat. Sometimes I cheat way too much, and then I put on a bunch of weight, which is what has been happening. But for me, with fruits and vegetables and allergies, I can temporarily have an allergy or something. I can have an allergy to something and have it stay for a while. Like there are times where my body hasn't seemed to like dairy, and then it only stayed for a little bit, and now it's fine. I went through a time when my body didn't like berries, and then after a while I was fine. Um, but one thing I've noticed is with fruits and vegetables, if they're canned or if they're not organic, they give me a headache. My body doesn't. Yes, I can have fruits and vegetables, but something about how they are sprayed or how they're preserved, and my body says no, 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 no. Like one time I got like if I eat a non-organic banana, I get a headache. It's just something about it. My body does not like it. Same with like frozen fruits and frozen vegetables. It doesn't even if they're organic frozen fruits and vegetables. There's something about it in the process and how they change that my body just doesn't do well. Um, and some might say it's like a mental thing, but if it's got preservatives, if it's got GMOs, if it's not organic, my body just says no, 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 no. So I think it was in like 2016, 2017 when I cut out soda completely. So I used to drink a ton of soda and I cut it out completely. It started giving me migraines. Um, I don't do energy drinks; those have always been an issue. Um, but people are like, oh, you can have bananas, so let's just get any kind of banana, or oh, you can have um this or that, and so they'll just get any kind, and then I just feel like crud afterwards. It's got to like with ice cream. Um, it needs to be as healthy and as few ingredients as possible. So Tillamook is a safe option because it has of the limited ingredients. I don't. Yeah, water. And that's the thing is, I do. I have a Brita filter on our faucet, so I can drink and use filtered water. Cause I'm just cautious that way. You know, Whole Foods like organic meats, organic fruits and vegetables. Um, not doing stuff that's pre-boxed, pre-made, frozen foods, all that. Yeah, Joy, it's really good. But yeah, soy. A lot of stuff has soy, and it's. I can't figure out if I have an issue with soy or if I was having an issue with something else in whatever it was that had that besides the soy. But honestly, with my food restrictions, I I probably should be a homesteader, honestly, because with like almond milk and coconut milk and stuff. I mean, the Trader Joe's coconut milk is good, and my body's not an issue with that. But with like almond milk or whatever, oat milk, most of the brands that are in the store, I don't know what it is, but body's not a fan. So, like, I'll do the Oatly oat milk, and my body's having an issue with that. And I'll do the Trader Joe's coconut milk, and my body's having an issue with that. It didn't the last time I used any of those. So, but and then one thing that's been happening recently is I've noticed is my body has an issue with leftovers. So, I mean, so it just yeah. So all the food things, and I know a lot of you can relate, which is why I feel comfortable. That's why we talk about this. Um, oh my gosh, it's been almost 2 hours. Holy mother! Wow. Um, yeah. So it makes grocery shopping really quick because I can't have most of the stuff that's in the store. So it makes meals and grocery shopping super easy. Um, Another thing is that I do with vegetables, I usually they need to be steamed or cooked because I'm kind of careful with what I eat because my jaw, well, all of me dislocates and subluxates very easily, but so does my jaw. So I can have, if it involves a lot of chewing or hard chewing, I'm more prone to dislocating or subluxating my jaw. So food being soft or easy to chew is important. So yeah, um, I'm so glad you guys stuck around this long. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go too. I'm gonna end the live here because my body is starting to flare up, and um, I love you all so much. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for. Oh, Joy. Yes, I would help you all with your chores if I could. Um, but I'm gonna go because it's been almost 2 hours. So this is really long. I'm so thankful for all of you who have stuck it out and who are able to join me in this live. And my body is starting to flare up, so I will talk to you all later. Love you.